So guys, when you get started in real estate, the hardest thing to do obviously is find funding. Once you find the deal, it's to find funding. And if you can actually do that, you can make so much money in real estate. But if you can't, you never will. So that's why we talk about private money constantly. If you're not constantly looking for a source of private money, you're not going to make it. If you're counting on bank financing to get you through this, it isn't going to work. Private money is the best way to buy real estate and then go into bank financing. Guys, if this sounds interesting, please hit the like button, subscribe, and let's talk about it. All right, guys, so I want to talk about private money, but first let's talk about the other kinds of money, and then we'll talk about why I like private money so much, why I love it so much, why I adore it. All right, so private money is the be-all, end-all, but there's other kinds of financing that you can get, and they all play an important part in financing and investing. So let's talk about each one of them and figure out which one works for you in the beginning. You might not have this to begin with. I get it. I know it's hard to find. It's daunting to go talk to somebody about private money when you haven't even done a deal yet. But I'm telling you, if you want to grow this business, that's what you have to do. So let's get into it. So when you buy a property, you're going to have a money source to buy it. Whether it's bank financing, hard money, and I'm going to explain all these in a minute, hard money, private money, or self-funded. So one of those four or a combination of those are what you're going to need to buy your house or your apartment complex or whatever you're buying. Most people start off with bank financing. And I honestly really like people to start off with bank financing because you're going to finance everything you do, whether you use any of these other types of financing, you're always going to refinance with bank financing. You want to use the bank's money because then you can go back and use these sources to get your deals. Make sense? Okay, so bank financing. You're going to have to put a down payment down. You're going to have to be pre-qualified, and you're going to have to make payments on it and the whole 9 yards while you're rehabbing it, whether you're flipping it, whether you're buying and holding it, whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to have to be making payments on it. Okay, hard money, a little bit different. You're going to be making payments on that also, but it's not as rigorous as getting bank financing. Bank financing, they're going to crawl up inside of you and inspect with a flashlight for the most part. So you have to have a good credit score, you have to have money in the bank, you have to have a job, all the normal things that you would have to buy a house to live in. Same thing with financing, but a little bit more. All right, so the bank financing is going to be the hardest one to get. Then we go to hard money. All right, hard money is the second hardest to get. And I'm not saying it's hard, most investors use it, but it's still hard to get. You have to qualify for it, but usually the property itself is the thing that qualifies for it. So they're going to come out and they're going to look at the property and they're going to go, okay, this property is worth $300,000 the way it sits. You're going to put $100,000 into it, and at the end, you're going to sell it for $500,000. They've got to decide whether that's a risk they want to take, right? So it looks like you're going to make $100,000 there, but no, you've got interest, you've got all kinds of different costs in there, interest and utilities and property taxes and payments to the hard money lender. All these things go in there. So, that $100,000 that you think you're going to get may end up being $30,000 or $40,000. That is why they're going to look at that property. They're going to do what we call underwrite that property, which is just a fancy term for saying they're going to qualify it. They're going to look at that property and go, is this a risk we want to take? Because hard money lenders and banks are not in the business to repossess properties, contrary to what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks that a bank wants to take that property back and then resell it, and then they get to keep all the equity. Doesn't work that way. Banks hate repossessing. Hard money lenders, for the most part, hate repossessing because it's a long, drawn-out year and a half process, and during that time, they're getting no payments and their money's locked up. They don't want that. That's why they're going to make sure that you are who you say you are. So they're going to look at you, but they're really going to look at the property. All right, so hard money is going to require you to get pre-qualified also. The third one here is self-financing. There's only so much you can do unless you're extremely wealthy with self-financing. A lot of people finance their first couple of deals. They've maybe got $200,000 or $300,000 saved up, and they do that. What they quickly find, though, is that you can't do that much with it. You can do one deal at a time, and then you have to go to the next one. But that's okay to get started. But what happens is you need, if you're going to be doing this full time, you actually need to be starting projects when other projects are in different phases. Otherwise, let's go over a timeline. So when you buy a house, you're going to probably go through, a 30-day escrow. And then you're going to close on it, all right? And when you close on that house, they're going to take the money out of your account, or you're going to actually deposit it in escrow, and that money is going to be gone. Now, the money that you took is going to go into here, and you're going to go ahead and rehab that house. To rehab a house, we're looking at probably anywhere from 2 to 3 months. So 2 to 3 months. And then we got to sell it. So you're going to put it on the market, and in this market, it's going to close quick. So you can figure anywhere from 30 to 45 days, and that's quick. But if it falls out of escrow, maybe you've got another 30 or 45 days to go. So now, on top of that, we've got another 3 months possibly. So when you get down to the end of it, you can do 2 houses a year, maybe, right? With one tranche of money, with one piece of money, bundle of money. But if you've got bank financing or hard money financing or private money, you can do multiples, right? So when this one's in escrow, you want to be closing another escrow, right? When this one's in construction right now, you want another one over here finishing construction. When this one's in escrow, at the end of this escrow, you want another one starting so that you can keep it going. You're not going to make money doing 2 a month or 2 a year. If you're making 30 grand a house, that's only 60 grand a year. That's not very good money. You want to make sure that you've got plenty of funding to handle as many deals as possible without getting in trouble. All right, so that's why self-funding is good to begin with, but it doesn't get you very far. All right, so what did you come here for? Why did you find me on Google? Why did you find me on YouTube? Because it said private money, right? Private money is my thing. When Yuko and I started investing, 11 years ago, we started raising private money at that time. And since then, we've become very, very good at it. And we fund almost everything with that, and then we put it back in here. So that way we can keep the money moving all the time. Velocity of money, you want to keep it moving like a rocket ship, right? If it sits still, you're not making anything. If money's moving, you're making money. Even breaking even is better than just letting it sit there, because momentum makes more money. It always does, because another deal is going to come along. People see you moving and stuff. Even though you're not making very much on one deal, another deal is going to come. When people see you moving, money is attracted to you. When things are moving, money is attracted to you. Trust me on this. All right, so private money. When you have private money, you can use that to fund the deal. Okay, so let's say, and this was a flip analogy here. Let's say you're going to buy and hold. Okay, so you're buying a house for $300, you're putting $50 into it, you got $350 into it. You're going to use private money to do that, right? You're going to raise private money to use it for that $350. Okay, now as soon as you've got that house done, you're going to rent it out. Now the bank wants you to season it. They want to make sure that you've had that house long enough and rented out long enough where the income is steady, that they can see that you are a good credit risk. Okay, then Mr. Bank will come in and lend on that $350, and what can you do? You get the $350 back, or your lenders do. Your private money people will get that money back through escrow, right? So the you're gonna borrow this from a private money person. All right, then you're going to go to the bank and say, Mr. Bank, this house is now worth $450. I owe $350 on it. Please give me the $350 so I can pay off my lender, and now I owe you $350. The $350 goes back to the private money person. You find another house, and they do it all over again. So you can use that money over and over and over. Now imagine you've got 4 private money people. What can you do with that? You can do 4 deals at a time. What happens if you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Guys, this is how you get wealthy in real estate. You don't do it with your own money. Very limited. You don't do it with a bank. It's too hard to qualify, especially if the house is a piece of SHIT. You can't do it. They're not going to lend on it. You can't do it. I'm sorry, you can do it with private money. You can't do it with hard money because their interest rates are so high, right? It's going to knock down how much money you make. This is fine for a flip, but when you're doing rentals, it's a little bit tougher. People will argue with me. I get it. I have no problem with that. Argue away. Send me a message. I don't care. This is the way I see it. Private money is the be-all, end-all. Think about it. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses at a time, at any time, and you've got money coming and going. The velocity of the money is crazy when you get to that point. Guys, private money is the most important thing that you can look at, that you can find. So go out and find it. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. There's a list down below that I put together for you that talks about how to get started in investing. It's really, really simple. I put it together so that you could get your first house. Download it, it's free, no charge. And also, if you are interested, I also do consulting. My Linktree link is down below. You can sign up for a consultation. And that's it. You guys have a great day. I'll see you next week.
Hey guys, check out these 2 videos. They're really going to help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram. Tons of great video content there. Really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.